with another video. I say I'm back with another video. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Yes, I said subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
This your boy Music 101, the Street Reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Atlanta rapper Cash Out, once known for his hits including Cashing Out and She Twerking, will spend the rest of his life in prison after being sentenced Monday for his convictions on charges including the R-word and sex trafficking. Cash Out, whose real name is John Michael Hakeem Gibson, was convicted last week after a month-long trial in a racketeering case that accused him of leading a trafficking and prostitution enterprise.
That breaking news here live at 5. Atlanta rapper Cash Out has just been found guilty of most charges against him.
He and two others on trial accused of luring women into prostitution.
Atlanta News First, Yasmina Alston is live at the Fulton County Courthouse where that verdict was just read aloud. And this came down in the last 30 minutes, Yasmina.
Yeah, that's right, and all three defendants were found guilty of violating the Georgia RICO Act, which is what prosecutors wanted to prove in this case, that the rapper Cash Out, his mom Linda Smith, and a third co-defendant were operating a sex trafficking enterprise. The rapper, whose real name is John Michael Gibson, his mom Linda Smith, also known as Mama Cash Out, and Tyrone Taylor were all facing multiple charges, including trafficking of a person for sexual servitude, pimping, and rape, and of course, that RICO charge. The jury found the trio guilty on most of those charges they faced, but not guilty of some of them. In this weeks-long trial, prosecutors tried to prove the three of them were running a business and luring women into prostitution, and several of the alleged victims testified. Now, we do know the jury deliberated all day starting early this morning, and then they came back with a verdict about 30 minutes ago. And once that verdict was read, all three of the defendants were handcuffed and walked out of the courtroom. The judge also saying that there will be a sentencing hearing for all three on Monday morning.
His full sentence includes a life sentence and then 70 years in jail. He was given jail sentences on several other charges that were made concurrent, which do not add any additional years. In court Monday, multiple victims and their families described the pain they've been subjected to, feeling disgusted and unlovable, as well as PTSD, depression, anxiety, and other resulting conditions from being trafficked and coerced into prostitution. The parent of one victim said he used his status as a famous musician and his wealth to steal their person, literally stole the souls of all the women they victimized. For the rest of my life, I would fear that he would come back and unalive me, all because I wouldn't do what he wanted me to do, one victim said. Cash Out stood up in court and said that he was not guilty and that the jury had made the wrong judgment, suggesting that the victims were bullied into testifying against him and invoking Jesus as a falsely accused figure.
Good morning, Your Honor. I want to start out by thanking you for giving us a fair trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial. This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to, sit there and judge someone's life, and, it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment. I've done things in my life, I'm not perfect. But the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and, show remorse to, crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial, which is Kiara Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me, and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a moral standpoint, but who was doing these things as a grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women. Nothing was forced, nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice, before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. if you notice before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment. I get the situations that people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation to put the blame on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during a proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiara Adams for doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations, because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said you can't leave me or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on the stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, how valuable life is and how valuable the people that you hang around, or the people that you even date, or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from, is baffling. Never forced a woman to commit a sexual act. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. I feel like, and somebody asked me this the other day, it was like, every time I see your head high, you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you can be falsely accused of things. Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something. So if you see me with my head high, or if you see me smiling, it's because I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, she's just a judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you have them, judge our lives and, put them in a position to judge our lives, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible, when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I said, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music. But I'm here to tell you that if you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I've done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I can say you had these women that never had anything to say about me before this indictment, before the RICO. You had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand and supposedly scared of me, or monsters, or I'm a monster, or took these proffers. This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they don't really want to be. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation, that these things never happened. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that means you have to be perfect like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me, because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth. To bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you're speaking something truthfully and you're speaking from the heart, and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial, and the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment.
His attorney asked for a 30-year sentence, saying that the prosecution recommended 25 years before the trial. which he hadn't accept because he wanted his day in court. The attorney asked the judge not to impose a trial penalty, which would result in harsher sentencing. The judge, before reading her sentence, said that the evidence at trial had shown the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. She said the jury verdict reflected that the prosecution had proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred, and her sentence would be responsive to that. And today, he was sentenced to life in prison plus 70 years.
Miss Hannah, you ready? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, during the course of this trial, the court heard and viewed evidence demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. The jury verdict in this case reflects that the state met its burden in proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred. The sentencing to be meted out by this court will be responsive to that. Mr. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, would you please stand? Okay. On count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 10. On count 10, rape, life in confinement. Count 12, aggravated sodomy, life in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1. Count 23, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 22. Count 24, on the lesser included offense of battery, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 25, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 23. Count 26, pimping, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 27, pandering, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 30, simple battery, merges into count 24, battery. Count 45, possession of prohibited items by an inmate, 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 25. Conditions of this sentence: no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, to include Diamond Urban or their families. You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo condominium, 2171 Peachtree. You are to stay away from the St. George's Commons address, and you are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. All right, you may be seated. All right, Ms. Smith and counsel, please stand. As to count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement. Count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive to count 1. You're to have no contact with any of the victims, including Diamond Irving, named in this indictment, or their families. You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road, the Mezzo at 2171 Peachtree Road, the address at the St. George's Commons, 9340, and the FIB, Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. You may be seated.
Promo alert, promo alert, promo alert. Today is your boy Big Clip. He just dropped the album called The Flop Tape. And when I tell you he the biggest Cliff you know, he a dog. He got tracks like Juggin' and Finesse for the Trappers. And another track called Hard Out Here. Big Cliff singing it all. From niggas hitting licks to bees sucking D. Make sure y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link will be down in the description. Hey, look, y'all don't want to miss out. He got a little bit of something for everybody on this one right here, man. This one here, I ain't gonna lie, I think it's a banger, gang.
I'm jugging and finessing, I'm jugging and finessing, I'm jugging and finessing. You know I gotta make the measure. I'm jugging, I'm finessing all the lows. Fuck them shows, I'm on the road, in and on with them lows. I'm Big Cliff, bitch, I'm home. Where the fuck is my throne? I'm jugging and finessing, I'm jugging and finessing.
Hey, do me a favor. Look down right there to the bottom left and hit that like button for me. Hit that like button right there. I appreciate it. Now continue watching.
Promo alert. If you need promo, DM me on Instagram at music101CEO. $30 for one promo video on my YouTube. $50 for 3 promo videos on my YouTube, $70 for 6 promo videos on my YouTube, and $130 for 12 promo videos on my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all tap in and get that promo if you want to win.
Charleston White, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, the ultimate
If I step on the leader, this ain't shit.